Do you spend hours each week creating Instagram content, but you're still not getting the sales and the wins that you see everyone and their mom sharing to their feed? It's really rough, but there's usually just a few simple changes you need to make to get there, and I'm going to help you. You are closer than you think. You can find the exact gaps that you have in your Instagram strategy, the gaps that are holding you back from getting clients from your content with my free Find and Fix the Gaps in Your Instagram Strategy quiz. All you have to do is take 5 minutes to fill out the quiz and you will get the exact roadmap you need to start getting sales from your Instagram content. Get your copy of the quiz at sociallyyours.biz/findandfixed. All spelled out, all one word, find and fixed, or check the link in the show notes. Welcome to episode 14 of Mompreneur Mastery. This episode is a continuation of last week that was all about the strategy behind auditing your content. Because the absolute best Instagram strategy that turns your followers into clients is the one that is tailored specifically for your audience. And you do that with insights. Welcome to the Mompreneur Mastery Podcast, where we share actionable Instagram strategies that fit into a busy mom's schedule so that you can get more engagement, more leads, and more sales in less time so you can spend more quality time with your family. I'm Sydney O'Brien, an Instagram strategist who started my business with 3 kids under 5 and found a way to do it without sacrificing quality time with my family and only working 2 to 3 hours a day. I love helping other mom business owners find that seemingly impossible mom work-life balance instead of spending too much time creating content that isn't getting them the results they want. If you're an overwhelmed but very ambitious business owner and you want to strategize the heck out of your Instagram account so that you can save time and make more sales, you're in the right place. And the best strategy for busy mompreneurs is one that they know will work rather than posting and hoping for results. You know, the one that saves them time as well, right? We want to see the biggest impact with our content, the impact in our business. So more leads, more engagement, more sales. And we want it in the least amount of time. So auditing your content by looking at your insights and then repurposing the content that gets you results is the ultimate mompreneur Instagram strategy. So like I said, last week we went over content audits, and I did one on the episode so you learned what to look for, how to read the information, and how to apply it to your Instagram strategy to get those data-driven results. Today, I'm going to go over how to pick posts to repurpose and how to repurpose them. A few months ago, one of my clients, one of my full-on management clients, had a big drop in engagement and reach. And I'm sure we've all experienced this. As you know, it happens. There's definitely things that are out of our control when it comes to Instagram. Sometimes there's an update to the app or Instagram just gets glitchy, or maybe there's a holiday, so there's more paid ads running for sales, like Black Friday sales. Or, when Threads dropped, there was a decrease in Instagram engagement and reach because more people were on Threads checking that out. So it could be any number of things, but we've all seen it. It happens. There's some stuff that is just out of our control. So when I was planning this client's content, I was looking through their insights and noticed these drops. We weren't reaching as many accounts. We weren't getting as much engagement. It wasn't great. And like I said, it happens to everyone. Don't feel bad. It's inevitable at some point. But we still have businesses to run, right? So what do we do? How can we still meet our business goals? How can we still get new leads and nurture them and connect with them to turn them into paying clients from our Instagram content when the algorithm is just dicking around? The thing is, you check your insights to see what has done well for you in the past, and then you repurpose it. And when I say has done well, I mean you want to look at the posts that start lots of conversations, that get you clicks over to your website, to your blog or your sales page. The posts that get you followers that are specifically in your target audience. These are the results we want to replicate. And if you've done a content audit that I went over in the previous episode and you have that information, you can get really specific as to what kind of posts you should be making. I'll link to it in the show notes if you need a refresher or if you haven't listened yet. So for repurposing, I chose a post that got a bunch of comments in this instance. Knowing that there was a drop in reach that I couldn't really do much about, I knew repurposing a post that got me follows wouldn't be as effective. And I knew that with the low engagement and reach, it would be the wrong time to pitch an offer, right? Because I hadn't been nurturing these leads enough to really connect with them and convert them into paying clients. So I wanted to create more connections to nurture the leads that I already had so that I was in a better position to pitch an offer in the not so distant future. So for that, I wanted a topic that I knew people would want to talk about. So this client, she's an autoimmune wellness coach. She helps women with autoimmune diseases reduce their symptoms through diet and exercise. So a post of hers that had gotten a bunch of comments was one about, and just for some context here, if you're not familiar, nightshades it's like a family of plants that have a certain chemical in them that some people believe cause inflammation. But now there are medical groups like the Arthritis Foundation, and they say they don't. Nightshades don't cause inflammation. So the fact that this got a lot of comments isn't surprising. These kind of touchy, like hot button topics in different niches, they get a lot of comments because people have big opinions on them and they want to share. So the original post was a carousel, and it went over what nightshades. Thank you so much for listening to Mompreneur Mastery, simple Instagram strategy for busy moms. If you were listening to this episode and found yourself nodding along, I would love it if you would find me on Instagram and send me a message telling me your biggest takeaway. My handle is @socially.yours.strategist. And don't forget to grab your free 1 month of Conversation Starters content calendar so that you know exactly what to post to get more comments without spending hours brainstorming Instagram post ideas. You can get it at sociallyyours.biz/content-calendar or head to the link in the show notes. Are a list of foods that are nightshades, and then the call to action, or the CTA, was for people to comment with their experience with nightshades. Did it cause RA symptoms? Did they have a flare-up after eating them? Things like that. Now, when I go to repurpose posts, I always follow a specific framework because it just makes life easier for me. I don't have to think too hard about it. I can follow these steps and just get it done and get a whole bunch of new content from one post. So this is part of the framework that I use. First, you take the post you want to repurpose and you make note of its topic, its pain point, the pain point addresses that your target audience has, and the related desired outcome that your target audience has around this pain point. So for this particular post, the one about nightshades, the topic is nightshades, obviously. The pain point for the followers would be their symptoms, right? The inflammation, the pain, the fatigue, all of it. They're looking for more information to manage their symptoms as much as they can through their diet. They want to learn about foods that might make those symptoms worse so they can avoid them. And then the desired outcome would be being able to make more informed dietary decisions to potentially reduce their symptoms or flare-ups. Okay, so now I have the post topic, the pain point, and the desired outcome. I'm going to show you how I can use all of that to turn this one post into 9 new posts that will get you those comments and get you that connection that you need to nurture your followers and convert them into paying clients. Okay, so first, we're going to make a post all about how your dream client can avoid the pain point. Okay, they don't want to deal with it and you can help them not have to. That's why you're here. So you should be talking about it in your content. So something like the hook could be suffering from RA flare-ups. Nightshades might be the culprit. And then later in the slides or the reel or the caption, depending on what type of post you're creating, explain what nightshades are, the general thoughts around them, and have a similar CTA as you did in the first one for comments that is super related to the topic. All right, so that is one post down. Let's talk through another one. Now what we're going to do is focus on the desired outcome. So consider the topic and the desired outcome your dream client has around this topic and talk about it. Give them some tips to get there. Give them a small taste of what your work does when you work with clients and how you get them there. You want to show that you know what you're talking about so that you're seen as an authority in your industry. You're building trust And you're also just giving them a little bit of a win. So when it comes to whatever problem they have that you can help with, they know that you are the one that can help them. So a desired outcome-driven repurposed post for this example could be something like, ready to reduce your flare-ups through your diet? Here are 5 foods you might want to avoid. And then again, dig into nightshades, the topic, and the various takes on them. And again, you want to have that CTA asking for comments. All right, so we have 2 super easy repurposed posts done already. Let's find some more. Now, after a pain point and a desired outcome-driven post, I like to do a deeper breakdown, which really results in multiple posts. So for each of those 5 or however many foods you mentioned in the last repurposed post, you're going to create a new post about each of those foods. For this specific example, you could talk about the chemicals in it, or maybe share alternatives to those foods that your dream client could use in common recipes or dishes if they're trying to avoid nightshades. Or maybe you could share statements from different health organizations or statistics from studies if there are, differences in them. Things like that. Go a little deeper into the why and do one at a time. So for this client, I came up with 5 new posts. I did 1 post for each type of food that was mentioned in the previous post. And I just did a breakdown of what was in it, like the chemicals in it that people thought were helping to cause inflammation. I gave different viewpoints, if I could find some from different organizations. And then I normally did a call to action of, do you still eat these foods? Do you try not to? Do you try not to eat these foods? Have you noticed a difference in your symptoms? Things like that. And so, that was 5 posts plus the other 2 that I repurposed. I'm up to 7 newly repurposed posts that I know are going to get us comments. That is great. And I have 2 more for you. So this next strategy is actually one of my favorites. Even though we were in like a super dip in reach and engagement, this actually did get us a few new followers just because of the type of post it is. And it always works out this way for this type of post. So it's one of my favorite ways to repurpose. Okay, so here's what I did. I took a section of the caption that was more like emotion based, and I used it to transformed it into a motivational message or like inspirational quote type of thing. And you'll probably have to add to it. You can't just copy and paste a quote. You'll need to adjust it a bit to get the desired effect. For example, there was this line in the original caption about your health being worth the time and effort it takes to find alternatives to certain foods or to do some research about foods you should be avoiding. So I took that and I turned it into a post that said, friendly reminder, your diet and lifestyle change may not cure your illness, but it can improve it drastically. You're worth the effort. Make yourself a priority. The call to action was something like drop a heart emoji in the comments if you agree. And the call to action was so simple and so easy that people did it, which definitely increased the reach. And like I said, it got us new followers, which was great. All right, so we are up to 8 new repurposed posts now. And I don't even know how long it's been, but it was super easy to do. This is going to be the last way to repurpose that I go over in this episode. And again, I know I said this the last time, but it's also another favorite of mine just because of how incredibly effective it is. Now, it's just looking at the original post topic and pain point and tell a story about it. Share a case study where you helped one of your clients get past this pain point. Or if you're new to the online business world, you can tell a story about how you got past it. Talk about those super relatable pain points to give them a glimpse of how you work, and also talk about the outcome. Talk about what happened because you were able to solve that pain point. What is life like for you now? What don't you have to deal with anymore because you are past that pain point? Storytelling posts are really, really powerful because everyone can relate to them. Everyone in your target audience can relate to them and they'll connect with you because of it. They're also usually pretty emotional and emotion sells. So I always recommend a storytelling post as part of your repurposing strategy. All right, so there you go. 9 new posts from one original post that got a ton of engagement so that you can easily come up with new content ideas without stressing or wasting your super valuable time. And you know that these posts will get you the interactions you need to connect with leads and to be able to convert them into paying clients. So just a quick recap. It was a post all about avoiding the pain point, a post all about getting the desired outcome, a post for each point in the original post that goes just a bit more in depth, an inspirational post about the topic, and then a storytelling like case study type of post. That gives you a great starting point if you are new to repurposing your Instagram content. And also, you can see why repurposing is such an important part of your strategy, especially as a mompreneur. It is all about making your efforts count. When you repurpose your content, you're not reinventing the wheel every time you post. Instead, you're taking what's already worked and finding new ways to share it so that you can save time on content planning and creating, but still get more leads and more sales. If you're not repurposing past posts, you're leaving opportunities for connection and sales on the table while potentially wasting your time. And you could also be experiencing slow growth, missed leads, and a whole lot of frustration from doing the whole throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks thing. So I'm really excited for you to use this framework to repurpose your own content. And I would love it if you could send me a DM over on Instagram and let me know how it goes for you. Or if you have any questions, I am at socially.yours.strategist. And if you're really excited about trying this new repurposing framework, I want to share some really exciting news with you. Over the past few months, I have been working on a new course and coaching program called Profitable Repurposing. This program is specifically designed to help busy mompreneurs transform their Instagram strategy into this data-driven powerhouse, right? I know we are all busy, and I know we all want to make sure that the time we're spending on content planning and creating is actually getting us sales and converting followers into paying clients. So I made a framework to do just that. And I know, again, you're super short on time. You're so busy. So I made the lessons so super short so that you can watch them in less time than it takes your toddler to put their shoes on when you're trying to get out the door. I'm also pairing this course with coaching calls and daily virtual support in a private Facebook group so that whenever you have questions, you have a way to reach out and get an answer and get support as you learn how to analyze your content and implement the super easy step-by-step framework to repurpose your Instagram content for a high-impact, data-driven Instagram strategy that you can do in less time while making more sales. This episode and the previous one are really just like a small bit of what you get in the course. So if you want more of this content, if you want more of this help to have a more data-informed strategy, be sure to check the link in the show notes to learn more about profitable repurposing. Thank you so much for listening to Mompreneur Mastery, Simple Instagram Strategy for Busy Moms. If you were listening to this episode and found yourself nodding along, I would love it if you would find me on Instagram and send me a message telling me your biggest takeaway. My handle is at socially.yours.strategist. And don't forget to grab your free 1 month of Conversation Starters content calendar so that you know exactly what to post to get more comments without spending hours brainstorming Instagram post ideas. You can get it at sociallyyours.biz/content-calendar or head to the link in the show notes. Hey mompreneur, I know that selling your offers on Instagram is really hard. First, you gotta know how to word your content to make sure that it clearly shows how amazeballs your offer is. And then you also have to know how to craft the content to make sure it appeases the algorithm gods so it actually gets seen by the people most likely to buy it. My goal is to help moms help their families through their online businesses. That is why I made Carousels That Sell. Carousels That Sell is a collection of 7 Instagram carousels and captions that have made me over $20,000. So I turn them into plug-and-play templates so that you can get the same results. Carousels That Sell is super easy to use, so you can easily create and schedule the content and will help sell your offers for you while you're off playing with your kids. Grab the templates that have made me over $20K for only $27 at sociallyyours.biz/carousels-that-sell so you can grow your business bank account faster than your kid outgrows their clothes.